And we've got Daryl Davis on the line with us right now. How you doing, Daryl?
I'm doing great, Elliott. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm good, thanks. I'm enjoying the weather early this morning, that's for sure.
I know you weren't enjoying it last night with that storm, right?
Well, I actually missed it. I flew in from Utah. I was out there for a blues festival over the weekend.
I just got back from Utah. I got an honorary doctorate degree from Utah Valley University about almost a month ago.
Okay. What? Just out of curiosity, what city is that in?
Orem, right outside of Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just before I get into the interview a little more, I thought I'd mention when I was in Salt Lake City, I was at my hotel because on Friday the festival didn't start till like 4 or 5 p.m. It's like, what is there to do around here? And this woman's like, oh, there's this really cool library where you can like trace your family tree and all that kind of stuff. Uh-huh. And I thought, that sounds a little interesting. So I popped in there. It is fascinating. I mean, it's called a family search center, and they're actually all around the country. And if you've got a little bit of information, you can just trace your family tree back generations and see. Even sometimes you might be able to find documents like birth certificates or all sorts of interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah. The world gets smaller and smaller when we do that, when we realize, how closely we are related or connected.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, let's start talking about you a little bit. Most people from the area certainly know you as a keyboard player and do a lot of boogie. You've played with, were Chuck Berry's band leader when he toured through the Mid-Atlantic. You've also been on stage and had a TV role in the show The Wire. And you're also a race relations expert. So I don't know where you want to begin, but I'd love to hear about the race relations work that you do.
Sure. Well, I traveled all around the world when I was a child, and I still do now as a professional musician and a lecturer. So I was around a lot of different people all the time, and from all different walks of life, different countries. I've been to 65 countries. On 6 continents. I've performed in all 50 states. And so I've learned that we all are the same. We may look different, speak different languages, worship differently, or not worship at all.
Right.
But essentially, we all want the same core values in our lives. Every human being on this planet wants to be loved. They want to be respected. They want to be heard. They want to be treated fairly and truthfully. And basically, they want the same things for their family as you want for yours. And if we can learn to apply those 5 core values that I just cited for you, when we find ourselves in a controversial situation, whether it's about race, politics, religion, anything else, the war going on right now, the last presidential election, you name it, whatever controversy, I'll guarantee your navigation of that situation, that culture, that society will be much more smooth and much more positive.
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing. So like when I know just from talking to you and reading your material over the years that, you've spoken to Klan members a lot. You've gotten some Klan members to renounce their ideology. I mean, so do you basically
Klan members, neo-Nazis, various other, white supremacist groups or just individual racists? It comes, from having civil dialogue. A missed opportunity for conflict is a missed opportunity for reconciliation and conflict resolution.
Right. And just out of curiosity, like when you sit down with them, over how long of a period do you have these discussions? Is it over multiple sessions, or is it like one?
Oh, yeah. It's over multiple sessions usually. Very few people change anything, in one scenario overnight. It's not like switching on a light bulb. But, Klansmen or anybody else are not stamped out of a standard cookie cutter. It may take months. It may take years, depending upon how inundated they are with the ideology. But I hang in there. If the first time you meet them, they're checking you out because, you are their enemy in their minds.
Right.
So what you are doing essentially is planting a seed, but then you got to come back and nurture that seed. You got to, water it, feed it, etc. And that's how it grows and blooms in the right direction.
Oh, that's pretty wild. So I assume you've had some lasting relationships, like good relationships with some of these people?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And different ones come out with me on my lectures and stand on stage with me and renounce their former organizations, and they work hard to de-radicalize people still remaining in that movement and prevent young people from going down that rabbit hole. Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
And how many? I'm just curious. Like, how many lectures a year do you think you do?
Well, during non-COVID, and slowly coming back now, I'd say between 60 and 80.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And you're doing these all over the country. You're flying
my
all over the
performances.
place. I'm sorry.
Pardon me?
No, and I said, and you're doing these like not just around the D.C. area. You're flying or driving or whatever all over the country for these.
All over the country and abroad as well. And in between, I'm doing my music gigs. Before it was, I'd say maybe 80% music, 20% speaking. And now I have flipped that. I actually turn down more music gigs than I accept because I think this work is so important.
Wow.
But trust me, I would much rather be on stage singing and playing my music and seeing people smiling and clapping and dancing rather than going to a Klan rally and seeing people march around a burning cross yelling white power in robes and hoods.
Yeah. So that stuff still exists?
It still exists, and it's becoming more and more prevalent.
Oh, yeah, thanks to some orange man, I guess, to some extent.
Yeah, he's not the originator of it by any means.
No,
he's certainly the exacerbated of it.
Yeah, no doubt. About your music, obviously, most people know you as a keyboard player. I've seen you play guitar many times as well, and you're a very fine guitarist. I mean, do you... which came first? Did you start playing guitar first or piano first?
Actually, piano first. The reason I went to guitar was that back then, it was kind of hard to haul a piano around to an open mic, if you wanted to sit in and play with somebody. Mm-hmm. So I took what I learned on the piano and transferred it to the guitar. And so it was a lot easier to put a guitar in your car and go to an open mic and play and things like that.
Well, that certainly makes a lot of sense.
Basically, I'm more of a piano player. My degree was I got a music degree, a bachelor's in jazz, and but piano was my instrument as well as voice.
Okay, and which college was that you got that at?
I went to Howard University.
Oh, that's right here in D.C.
Correct.
Excellent. Let's see. So,
but at the foundation of jazz is one of the greatest forms of music this country has ever produced. And it's inspired genres all over this country and around the world. It's called the blues. And it was one of the first forms of American music created right here in our country, not, imported from somewhere else. Yes, the influences came from somewhere else, but when we amalgamated them here in our country, we produced the blues. And, the D.C. area, while everybody knows D.C. as a political town, of course, it's the hub of the country, it's the nation's capital. If you want to get into politics, come to D.C. You work at the Capitol page or an intern or what have you. People don't think, if you want to get into the blues, come to D.C. But D.C. is a secret treasure of blues. And, places like the Silver Spring Blues Festival, WPFW, Elliott Gross, Ida Campbell, and people like that are keeping the blues alive. So it's not being forgotten or cast aside or becoming just a museum piece that people visit. This area is keeping it alive. And in fact, Mud Morganfield, who is the son of Muddy Waters, the father of the Chicago blues. He took it from the Delta of Mississippi, went to Chicago during the 1940s to get better work and things like that, and the blues became electric. And his son, Mud Morganfield, Muddy Waters, his real name was McKinley Morganfield. His mama didn't name him Muddy.
Right.
But that was his nickname. But his son, Mud Morganfield, will be at the Silver Spring Blues Festival, keeping the blues alive. And I have the great pleasure of putting together the band to back him up, the Chicago Blues Band, the Daryl Davis Chicago Blues Band, next Saturday, June 20th. And I really appreciate this area, which is why I remain here, because of things like the Silver Spring Blues Festival and WPFW, keeping one of my favorite genres of music alive, that gave birth to a career that I had and have in playing rock and roll. Rock and roll was born of the blues and boogie woogie. People like Chuck Berry, brought us rock and roll. What did Muddy Waters say? The blues had a baby, and he named it what? Rock and roll.
Absolutely.
And Chuck Berry was that baby.
Yep. Yeah, actually, and the Rolling Stones even took their name from a Muddy Water song, Rolling Stone.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. And speaking of Chuck, he will, this year, 2026, is the 250th anniversary of this country. But let us not forget, it is also the 100th birthday of Chuck Berry.
Oh, I wasn't aware of
I'm
that.
putting on, yeah, that's right. He would have been 100 years old had he not passed away. And I'm celebrating his birthday at the Birchmere on his birthday, October 18th, down
very
in
cool.
Alexandria.
Nice,
So,
nice.
Yeah, everybody's invited.
All right, are they going to serve St. Louis ribs or something that night?
We're going to serve Johnny B. Good, Sweet Little 16, Carol, Nadine, My Ding-a-Ling, Maybelline, and all kinds of other places.
Got it. Hey, talking about that Silver Spring Blues Festival, I know it's in downtown Silver Spring. Is that still on Ellsworth Street? Is that at the bottom of the street now?
Yes.
At the Veterans Plaza?
I guess in the middle of Ellsworth.
Oh, okay.
They block off the streets, and everybody comes. It's nothing but a great time. People are singing and dancing in the streets, literally. If Martha Reeves' song could have been named after that, Dancing in the Streets, Martha and the Vandellas, because that's exactly what the Silver Spring Blues Festival is. It is a nonstop party from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And that's I believe, a nonprofit, right? Did they?
It's absolutely a nonprofit, and it's free, and everybody's invited, and everybody shows up. You don't think of Silver Spring as being a blues destination, but let me tell you, it's becoming one. The DMV is becoming one, thanks to people like you keeping that music alive in WPFW. This is actually the 17th annual blues festival, Silver Spring Blues Festival. Last year we had the amazing, one of my favorite guitarists of all time, Sue Foley.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, isn't she?
Yeah.
And this year, we're bringing in Mud Morganfield. So, these are opportunities that, normally you'd pay lots of money to go see these artists, and you can see them for free, up close and personal. Come out and meet them, come out and dance to their music, sing along. You're right there by the stage.
Excellent. All right, well, I'm going to have to wrap things up shortly, but any final parting words you'd like for the listeners here?
Well, come out and see me on Saturday. If you're interested in my work in race relations, my new book is out. It's called The Klan Whisperer. Klan spelled Klan.
Right.
The Klan Whisperer is available. And come on out. Read the book. Come out and dance to the music.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it, Daryl.
Elliott, thank you so much for having me. Really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Daryl. We'll see you soon. I'll see you Saturday.
Take care.
All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.